I'd like to return to the kingdom fungi and the division Basidiomycota to talk about a type of fungus that's really a problem up in the Yellowstone ecosystem. It's a type of bracket fungus. It actually forms kind of red shelf or bracket type structures on the trunks of trees, but it's something that's known as blister rust. And in this summer's class, when we went up to Yellowstone ecosystem, I was just amazed at how many trees are suffering from blister rust. And I don't know if I just never noticed it before or if this is a particularly bad year, but it really is a major problem in the ecosystem. Anyway, blister rust tends to infect what we call the 5-needle pines. This is something we'll talk about later in the course, but conifers can have either single needles or needles in fascicles or bunches, and if they have bunches of 5 needles, they are particularly susceptible to blister rust. And so in the Yellowstone ecosystem, that would be the white bark pine and the limber pines. And so white bark pines are suffering, in fact, all the pines are suffering in the ecosystem from beetles that we'll be talking about. But again, this is just an additional problem, these fungi, these rusts. So the white bark pine and limber pine are really being just annihilated by this blister rust. And it also has an alternate host that it can take advantage of in the ecosystem. And these are close relatives, the white gooseberry and the black currant, which both are the same genus, a very similar type of plant. So it has kind of a complex life cycle. It actually forms 5 different types of spores and utilizes these different hosts, either the pine host or the gooseberry currant host. And anyway, what it does to the conifers is that it will get started typically on a branch and gets into the phloem and will kill basically all of the branch that's distal to wherever it infects it. And so it'll cause kind of like a little tumor, almost a swelling on the branch, and then the leaves die distal to that point. And when the leaves die, they turn brown, but they turn a kind of a very reddish brown, kind of a distinctive color, kind of unusual. And then also, if the infection gets into the trunk of the tree, which it can as well, then it can be carried throughout the tree and will kill the tree. And so the spores are generally carried by wind, but they also can take advantage of some of the beetles which are infecting the trees up there as well. So particularly the white bark pine, but the conifers in general are really being devastated by a lot of different threats, and this would just be another one of those. And part of this is related then to global warming, because with more insect damage, that creates more opportunity for these fungi to get started, and this insect damage is increasing because the earth is getting warmer, the winters are not as cold as they used to be, and where the cold winters used to kill larvae of these infecting insects, it's not doing that anymore. So again, this is something I'll be talking about later in the course, some of the threats to the different pines as it relates to insects. But blister rust is a major problem for the ecosystem, and just to give you an idea of this, looking at white bark pines, it's thought that in about the last 15 years that 80% of the white bark pines have been eliminated, and a lot of people think they'll be gone in another 5 to 10 years.